Hello everyone, and welcome back to my gardening and growing channel. Today it's October 4th, and I'm just going to give you a little update, since it's been a while, on my potted stuff in my backyard, on my backyard patio. Everything's going pretty crazy, and some of it's starting to peter out now since it's October. First, here's my green onions. As you can see, they're huge. I didn't know green onions got this big, to tell you the truth. I mean, the things are massive. Now, I know you see the stuff growing in here. It's not a weed. It's the holy basil, I believe it's called. And it drops seeds everywhere, and I'm such a... Gosh, I just can't pull it out. I feel bad yanking it out. I did yank some out, some of the other stuff that I have, but kind of grows, and it doesn't seem like it's affecting these plants, so I leave it. But I think in the future I'm going to start yanking it out, because when you look at my community garden, I have that garlic chives growing everywhere. Well, it goes to seed and it drops everywhere, and that's how this stuff all popped up. It drops seeds and it grows. But actually the garlic chives are worse, because seeds overwinter in the soil and they pop up. So I'm going to start yanking all that stuff out and maybe give it away or just dry it or something. Anyway, so those are my green onions. So here's my pepper plants. This one is the Big Black Mama, it's called. I need to harvest these. As you can see, they don't look black though, they look red to me, but I guess they're dark brown maybe. You can see this one here, and this has got a lot of that, again, holy basil or whatever it is, growing in there. It's starting to peter out though. It's losing a lot of leaves, and that has nothing to do with that basil being in there. It just I don't know, sometimes the weather. I tried to not water them as much this year, because I thought that was the reason the leaves were dropping, but I don't think that's the case. I think it's just certain plants do that, as you'll see. Here is this one does have a weed growing in it. This is the ghost pepper right here. You can see lots of beautiful peppers. And this one looks good. I need to harvest these, and I'll probably try to overwinter this one if it stays like it is, because it looks pretty good. Like it might overwinter. Next, here is my MOA Scotch Bonnet. I have a lot to harvest, and this one I did overwinter, and it did well. See, there's some, what do you call it, growing in there, 4-leaf clovers or whatever, clover. But this one did good, and it looks really good again this year. I mean, the leaves look nice, so I'll try to overwinter this one again. Next to it here is the what do you call it, mustard Naga. Now, I imagine this is the color they're supposed to be to harvest. I don't know. I'm gonna have to harvest it though. I'm looking forward to doing something with these, just because I've never grown them before. Plant looks okay. I might bring this one in to overwinter too, but I am not sure. We shall see. I mean, the leaves look good. It's pretty full, so it's healthy. This one here is the chocolate habanero. I gotta harvest these. There's a whole bunch. See how they look. Plants are pretty full. Holy basil growing in there, and I really need to not let that happen next year, I think. Next to that is the chocolate Bootleg. I gotta harvest a bunch of these. Some of them got pretty ripe and are red, but this one looks bad. All the leaves are coming off, and I don't have any idea why. And there's only like one little holy basil in there, so I have no idea why it's doing that. Here is the Christmas pepper. You can see it's got all the different colored peppers. They're all red now, so these aren't so edible. They're more like, I mean, they're edible. You can eat them, but it's more decorative. And here is my 7-pot Primo. I had it moved away from the other ones because, and here's one, should have been picked a while ago, but because I was trying to isolate it. The flowers kept falling off. I'm not sure why, but as you can see, I marked it here with this. There's a flower here, but I don't think there's enough time in the growing season for this thing to make it so I can collect seed, but I'll leave it over here and see what happens. I might bring it in because it looks okay too. but we shall see on that one. But there's a lot to harvest on this one. And over here we have my little herb garden. Grew pretty big. Back here is the chives, and they're looking pretty scraggly. I don't know if it's because they were getting blocked by this basil here, which grew pretty big. Went to flower, it started tasting bitter, so I haven't harvested anything. I may try and harvest some seeds from it. Here's that African basil. It's crazy, it's so huge. I think I'll try to harvest seeds from this too. Here's the Mexican tarragon. This thing just grew nuts. So big this year. It's the biggest I think it's ever grown for me. And the thyme is right here. And the dill is right there. But it wasn't very, you can see the dill. It didn't grow very well. It didn't taste very strong dill. I tried to do something with it and it wasn't very flavorful. And if you look what happens here again, it's the same thing with the garlic chives. Here's a whole bunch of little chives from the seeds that fell. And those will overwinter. If this doesn't get too cold, these will come back again for sure. And here is the basil that I grew from those 2 cuttings. You can see how big it grew. And it went to flower, so now it's bitter. So well, maybe I'll try to harvest some seeds from this too. But we shall see. It's pretty easy to grow from seed or cutting or whatever. So that's that. And here we have in this pot, this small pot, which I probably should have put in a bigger one. See, it's pretty big. This right here would be the turmeric. And it really grew big. It's starting to peter out a little bit, I think the cooler weather. And it hasn't really been that cool, but for this I think it's kind of cooler weather. But it's grown big. Look how thick these stalks are. As big as my finger, so maybe I'll dig it up and see. I'll dig it out and see how it looks. But I'll be bringing it in. I kind of let it overwinter. Maybe use some and then put it back in the dirt and don't water it too much and put it back out and add some fertilizer and it grows. Here's really impressive right here is my ginger. This is pretty impressive. Look how big it grows. There's a lot of shoots in here, so a lot of ginger in this pot here. This grew really well. I did notice you give it a good amount of fertilizer and water when it's dry, and this thing will really grow for you. It's pretty awesome. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.